Wojtek the Bear, who helped in the war. Did you know that there was a bear in World War II who served as an official soldier? Yes, the bear's name was Wojtek, and his story is both heartwarming and inspirational. Initially bought as a cub in Iran by Polish the Second Corps soldiers, Wojtek enlisted in the army and eventually rose to corporal. Thanks to his service in the Battle of Monte Cassino, he became a celebrity with visiting Allied generals and statesmen. So, what did this bear do that earned him this fame? Watch the video till the end to know everything about Wojtek. Here's how it all started. In 1942, the newly formed Polish Free Army was leaving the Soviet Union and heading to Iran. There were thousands of Polish civilians accompanying the army who had been deported to the Soviet Union following their 1939 invasion of eastern Poland. During this journey, the army encountered a young Iranian boy at a railway station in Hamadan with a bear cub whose mother had been shot by hunters. At this moment, 18-year-old Irina Bakovich, the great niece of General Bolesław and Wojewód Dugaszowski, fell in love with the cub and urged Lieutenant Anatol Ternavecki to buy it. Imagine little Irina pleading with the lieutenant to buy her a bear cub when the world was at war. Anyhow, the cub was adopted, and for the next 3 months, it stayed at the Polish refugee camp near Tehran. After this, the bear was donated to the 2nd Transport Company, which later became the 22nd Artillery Supply Company. The soldiers named the bear Wojtek, which is a nickname of an old Slavic name, Wojciech, which means happy warrior. In early 1944, with World War II in full swing, the Polish Second Corps was preparing to board ships for Italy. That's what they were supposed to do, of course. But there was a little problem for them to deal with. At that time, all soldiers were allowed to get on transport ships, but they had to think for Wojtek. This bear was not enlisted, and this posed a problem. Now, they could not just leave this bear behind. So, the soldiers of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company tried to get a pass for him, but port authorities were not ready to let a bear aboard. Eventually, the soldiers had to find a way out and got Wojtek enlisted into the Polish army. This might sound funny, but it was the only way out for them. Now, Wojtek was a full-fledged soldier in the Polish army. This move saved Wojtek's life as he managed to board the ship with the Polish Second Corps and went on to fight in Italy along with his fellow soldiers. It is also worth mentioning that the Polish army was the only army in World War II to have a bear soldier. Now, you might be thinking, what would a bear do as a soldier? After all, it is just a bear, not a human being. But you would be surprised to know that this bear was different. After becoming a part of the Polish army, things became very different because the soldiers had to look after the bear. In the beginning, Wojtek had trouble eating solid food like the other soldiers, which was nothing really uncommon, but it was a matter of concern. To help him out, the Polish soldiers fed him condensed milk, which they got from an old vodka bottle. Not just that, they also rewarded him with delicious treats like marmalade, honey, and syrup. A shocking but not so surprising detail is that Wojtek was also given beer, which became his favorite drink. But wait, because the list of unbelievable acts by this bear doesn't stop there. He even learned to smoke cigarettes and drink coffee, if you can believe it. When Wojtek was in Egypt and the Middle East, he faced difficult conditions due to the heat and water shortages. To make up for these difficulties, Wojtek found resourceful ways of gathering refreshments. He would pursue grenades that were thrown by men in practice, and learned to break into the shower huts and turn on the showers even when the water was rationed. Other than these, the men taught Wojtek to playfully pick up and eat new recruits by holding them upside down by their boots. He also started sleeping with the soldiers just to keep warm, and enjoyed wrestling with them. And just like soldiers saluting when meeting other high-ranking officers, Wojtek was copying the same, as he saluted others when greeting them. Thanks to his endearing personality and antics, Wojtek soon became an attraction for both the soldiers and civilians, and he was eventually appointed as an unofficial mascot of the unit stationed nearby. With them, Wojtek traveled to Iraq, Syria, Palestine, and Egypt. He stayed with the unit throughout the journey and bravely stood at their side, even in dangerous situations. From Egypt, the Polish Second Corps was an army division made up of volunteers from around the world who wanted to fight alongside the Allied forces in World War II. As part of their journey from Egypt to Italy, they had to travel by ship. but regulations forbade them from bringing pets and mascots on board. To get around this restriction and keep Wojtek with his unit, the 5-year-old brown bear was officially drafted into the Polish army as a private, enlisted among soldiers of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company. Henryk Zacharowicz and Dmitry Salugo were assigned as Wojtek's caretakers. They made sure he was given food and water during the journey, as well as plenty of exercise and entertainment. Apart from the appearance, there was literally nothing that made Wojtek different from a soldier. He reportedly had his own paybook, rank, and serial number in the Polish army, just like the other enlisted men. He used to live with the other soldiers, either in tents or a specially designed wooden crate that was transported by truck. The most remarkable thing about Wojtek was his commitment to helping the soldiers in war, which earned him a place of recognition. There are several accounts of how he helped the soldiers in the Battle of Monte Cassino. According to one account, Wojtek was seen carrying 100-pound crates of 25-pound artillery shells, and he never dropped any. This was an impressive feat, as it was normally a job that required 4 men. He would stack the crates onto a truck or other ammunition boxes with amazing speed and accuracy. If a soldier performs well, he usually earns a promotion, and Wojtek was no different. In recognition of his loyalty and bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal. Not just that, the 22nd Company even adopted a depiction of a bear carrying an artillery shell as its official emblem. The war ended in 1945, and the Polish troops all returned home. But they didn't forget about their beloved bear. They had to decide what to do with Wojtek. Would he stay in Poland or come with them on the journey back home? The decision wasn't easy, as the Polish government, which Soviet forces had recently taken over, was keen to get their hands on Wojtek and use him as a symbol of communism. It was decided that Wojtek's home would be on a farm in Scotland, in the village of Hutton in Berwickshire. Here, he would live with the other Polish fighters who were temporarily housed in the area following their return from war. On the 15th of November 1947, Wojtek was given to Edinburgh Zoo, where he spent the rest of his life. There, he was often visited by journalists and former Polish soldiers. He would still respond to being spoken in Polish, recognizing many of his former units. As a result of the media attention, Wojtek became quite popular and was often invited to appear on BBC Television's Blue Peter program for children. Sadly, Wojtek passed away in 1963 due to damage to his esophagus, which was possibly the result of swallowing too many cigarettes. To commemorate his heroic service, a bronze statue of him was unveiled in central Edinburgh in November 2015, and it serves as a reminder of the courageous bear who helped in the war. Wojtek's story is a true testament to the strength and courage of animals, and it shows us the powerful bond that can be formed between soldiers and animals, even in the midst of war. He will always be remembered for his selfless service and remarkable bravery. So this was all about Wojtek, the bear who helped in the war. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up to show us some support. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notifications for all our new videos. Goodbye, until next time.